Hello, Mrs. Parrot.
Mr. Skull, what's your opinion on the 2008 financial crisis where everyone had to foreclose their homes and liquidate all their assets just to stay afloat?
Well, honestly, Mrs. Parrot, that sounds like a little bit of a loaded question, but
Hello, I didn't see you there, and well, I still can't, and neither can you see me. That's how the internet works. Although, as you're here, I might as well give you some unsolicited advice. I am single, and I realise I'm not exactly a special snowflake or anything, but it's context, shut up. I like being single, as I imagine many of my single contemporaries do too. We just don't really enjoy being dragged every Saturday of the year around shopping parks and garden centres or car shows and Halfords, delete as appropriate. But there's a few downsides to it, especially if all your friends are loved up to all hell, are getting married and are generally being soppy and happy and busy on weekday evenings and Saturday mornings, looking round garden centres, Halfords, etc. We've been through this. I'm not bitter, I promise. Anyway, this is Single Tips with Noom. That's me, if you didn't get it already.
Tip number 1. Keeping yourself entertained when everyone else is with their other half.
Now, you can't just watch strong pornography all day as much as you'd like to, you know. There's a risk of a rash and it's just a little bit sad. You can't sit in a park by yourself if you're a man. You'd become that guy who sits alone in the park by himself. There's too many conclusions people might draw about you. You could watch in awe at the mesmerising colours of your own washing machine. Not that I've ever done that at midday with a hangover. Anyway, you could sit by yourself making YouTube videos all day, but that's slightly depressing, isn't it? If you have the money, you could take weekends away by yourself. Now, that would look good on your Tinder page, wouldn't it? For example, here's some B-roll I took on my weekend away in Sweden last year. See how much fun I had. No? Alright. But if you are broke as all Heckington like I am now, there's always simply walking around in nature, which is genuinely an actual tip. I wasn't expecting that. So yeah, stave off single boy boredom by going for a walk.
Tip number 2. How to hide excessive beer, wine and junk food consumption from your neighbours.
Now, you're inevitably going to be dreadfully bored at some point. That's the trade-off for being able to have the freedom to eat Cheetos while drinking tequila and Diet Coke at 3 o'clock in the morning in your pants without being judged. This means that your recycling bin will be a little bit too full and your house a little bit too quiet to pull the I have a lot of friends over excuse. Though the fix for this one is easy. Simply take your recycling to a bottle bank where all the other single people go. It's like a safe space of sorts, but it's used solely by borderline functioning alcoholics. I forgot, this is taking the piss now. What even is this shit? Where does this come from? God's sake, I've got to stop doing this shit. Jesus, what?
Tip number 3. How to cook for yourself, you silly bastard.
You knew it was coming. More binging with Single Boy Noom. Enjoy! Hello there and welcome back to Binging with Single Boy Noom. Now today I'm going to show you how to make 3 example meals of what your average single person will cook. Now of course Breakfast is the most important meal of the day, as told by children's nursery rhymes. So what are we going to eat? Maybe some toast, maybe some cereal. No, nothing. We're going to eat nothing. What we're going to do is we're going to make ourselves a hot coffee, a hot instant coffee, very, very strong. So what you want to do first, okay, is grab your coffee and your sugar and your boiling water. I didn't forget any of them this time, surprisingly, and we want to put 2 generous scoops of instant coffee into our alcoholics mug. Now once you've got your coffee in, you can set that, if the lid's on straight, aside. Then of course you've got to add sugar if you're not a complete and utter ocean-going moron who drinks their coffee black and unsugared. So we put 1 in there and then maybe another little half in there. Oh, this is going well. Oh, I haven't had lunch yet and it is currently 3:20 in the afternoon. That might be why my fucking hands are doing this shit. Okay, well that's fine, whatever. Next, quite clear, you pour in your boiling water. Look at that, now that is a steaming hot, oh forgot, why did my kettle always do? Right, here, as you can see, was the last time I poured hot water onto my table. So that's fine, that's fine, whatever. It's alright, it adds character. Stir it up, and there you go, you got yourself a lovely pot of hot brown coffee that will wake you the hell up. If not with caffeine and sugar, at least in the pure volcanic temperature that this is going to be. Here we go. Oh, fucking up. Oh yeah. Oh. Yeah, that'll wake you up, alright. Moving on to lunch. What? I'm lazy. Get over it. So now finally, the day comes to a close and we come to dinner. Now I'm going to be cooking you frat boy version of macaroni and cheese. Now, first off, we've got to make pasta. And if you don't know how to make pasta, then I'm sorry how dreadfully bad you are at most things in life. But if you don't know, then here we go. So first, you've got to have a pan complete with lid. If you're a moron like me and don't have a colander, take that off. You will also need a wooden spoon, some pasta, macaroni in my case. To make macaroni and cheese, one wants to use macaroni. You can use spaghetti, but then that's just getting even more sad than it already has. So that, some salt. I use 50% less sodium salt, so 50% less salt. So I don't know, it was the first one I found. And of course, some oil. Optionally, if you are over the age of 18 or 21, whatever it is in your country, in fact, you can have yourself some Thatcher's Haze, which is very, very nice. And that's just for me to have now. So it helps you get through the tedious boredom that the day you've created for yourself brings, really. Lovely. And of course, some pre-boiling water. So what we're going to do is we're going to put our hob on. We're going to turn our heat on. Turn that heat down a little bit, because it's of course the smallest pan that I own, because it's just for me. I've pre-boiled some water in my kettle, and then what we're going to do is pour that into our pan so that it doesn't take too much time to heat up. This kettle is doing my tits in. Why is it dribbling down the side constantly, for God's sake? Right, water in there, off we go. I like to add, I've been told two different things. I've been told that adding oil to your water stops it from boiling over, and I've also been told that salt to your water, adding salt to your water stops it from boiling over. So I split the difference and just do both, because sod it, why not? So that goes in there like that. And now all we do is wait for this to come to the boil. So I'll see you in a second, guys. OMG, I'm a proper fucking vlogger now, aren't I? Jesus. Right, so now this water has come to a boil. We can put in our pasta, our macaroni. And now I've already opened it to save your ears from the dreadful noise of a packet opening on a microphone. But all we do is just put in what you want and try not to burn yourself with the splashback from the pasta. Okay, I think that's probably enough. I always make too much pasta. I imagine everyone also makes too much pasta constantly. Now, very important for you non-pasta being able to make morons out there. Initially, as soon as you put the pasta in, start to stir it. Otherwise, it will get welded to the bottom of the pan. And that would be no fun to clean up or bother with later. Because honestly, once you've had several of them, which you might well do on a weekend when you're by yourself, you won't want to, honestly, or even possibly be capable. So, we'll let that cook. We'll let that cook a little bit more. Remember to keep stirring as time goes on. Boil for, I don't know, some time, 10 minutes-ish, probably. I'm not sure. Do you know, one of the incredible things about cooking is you have a lot of time, such as when pasta's boiling, to do absolutely nothing. So your mind tends to wander. I just thought, I wonder if there's any way to flambe pasta. Like pour some vodka on it after you've poured the water out and then set it on fire. I'm not going to try that because I also have the foresight to think that won't go very well. So once it's been boiling for a little while, and you keep tasting it as you go through, but I believe now we get a couple of these on. Look at that shit. Oh fuck, that's hot. Oh shit, that's literally got boiling water. That's the problem with macaroni, is because it's hollow on the inside, the quite literally boiling water stays in the center of the macaroni and burns your tongue to a crisp. But that will probably help because it means you won't be able to taste it as well when it's done in a bit. Anyway, that's perfect. Let's pull it off the heat and get it drained. So, as I mentioned before, I am an idiot. I do not have a colander, but that is not a problem because all I can do is put that lid back on there a little bit, open a little slip, and then try not to get splattered with boiling water or do that. Bugger. Okay. Keep this slit very small and try not to lose 7 bits of pasta as you drain it. But, I mean, this is an acceptable amount there. I can eat that. That's fine. Moving on to the flavouring of this thing. This is where the fun starts, the experimental cooking that you can achieve. Now, you could make a proper roux out of flour and milk and add cheese and take all of that and spend an hour doing it and then put it in the oven to bake with like a layer of cheddar cheese on top just to crisp it up and be delightful. Or you could do the single boil version, which I'm going to do today. What you need is some salt and some Philadelphia cream cheese. You could alternatively add some butter, is what I meant to say, but I can't be bothered, honestly. So, first off, give it a nice light salting. Not too much, you don't want to have a heart attack just yet. That comes when you're 35 and single. Excellent. So then, I'm getting flustered. There's too many things to do. This is too complicated a recipe. So then you take about that much-ish of your Philadelphia, smash that in there while it's still in the pan, obviously, because you want that heat. And then, quite simply, stir that shit in there. And it will quite easily combine into the pasta. Honestly, this isn't that bad. This is not the worst thing I've ever made, to be fair. If you've watched the first Binging with Noom, that's probably the worst thing I've ever made. Intentionally. It was intentionally bad. Although I've made many, many bad things unintentionally. I wanted them to be good, but they ended up being horse manure. Right, okay, and if you're feeling fruity, which I am today, and I didn't prepare, add a spot of cracked black pepper in there. Not too much, I don't like too much pepper. important thing, actual genuine important cooking thing. Try not to put pepper into something when you're still cooking it, because it can burn and it can become very, very, very bitter. Always season after you've finished making something. With pepper, at least. You can season salt while you're cooking it, but pepper, avoid before you've finished. See, there's a couple of real tips in this shit show of a video, but there we go, that will do. Chuck that in the sink, and then are we going to put it in a bowl? You goddamn bet your ass we're not. We're going to eat it out of the pan because we're a single boy and that's what we do. Make sure you don't put this on your lap, that will hurt. But we're going to try a little bit of it now, and if it looks alright. And it tastes fine. Pretty much single life in a nutshell. It looks alright, it tastes fine, it exists. Anyway, thank you very much for watching Binging with Noom, and indeed being single boy with Noom, or whatever the hell I call this. Please like, subscribe, smash the like and subscribe button with a pan full of pasta. Check out Instagram and Twitter and all that, links in bio below. And yeah, thank you very much for watching again, and bye for now.
In my opinion, there was a lot of people in the wrong there. There was a lot of companies such as Goldman Sachs who really shouldn't have done what they did, where they offered people 0% mortgages when they really couldn't afford it. So they're to blame, but honestly,